Hi everybody, it's Az here from Heel vs Babyface. Now, today I was going to bring you the first boss in the 25 Siege of Orgrimmar Raid Finder, which is Mercius, but I can happily push that to one side for now, because something happened last night which really tied in well with yesterday's video. And if you didn't see yesterday's video, I did one of my Raid Boss 101s. It was Morchok, the first boss from the Dragon Soul raid in Cataclysm, the final raid of Cataclysm. And I mentioned in the video that due to the nerfs that the Warlock had received in patch 5.4, soloing had become significantly more difficult. Soul Leech had been nerfed, Soul Link's been nerfed, Soul Shatter's been nerfed, Demonic Gateway's been nerfed. So all of those four combined very nicely to make Warlocks a very, very good solo class. Just like Hunters, just like Blood DKs. But Hunters and Warlocks did take some hefty nerfs in patch 5.4. So last night, as you can see from the way that the server's shutting down, this is just a little bit before, we've got 15 odd minutes, and I was on my ult, my Hunter ult, which is approximately 503, 502, 503 item level. So not wonderful by any stretch of the imagination. And there are a couple of us that still hadn't killed the Celestial on our ults. So we decided just to see what we could do. So we have this Blood DK. And this is not a video that's going to, you know, start shouting at Blood DKs or anything like that. It's not your fault. If you play a class that's OP, it's not your fault, you know? It's not to do with you, it's to do with the developers and the way that they create the classes. And there's four of us. And in all honesty, yes, we've got the odd alliance that might kind of hover here and there, but they tend to soon bugger off. There's four of us. There's a Warlock, there's myself, who's a Hunter, there is a Shadow Priest, and a Blood DK. And we are very slowly, but surely, the four of us, knocking off a world boss which is only a week old in the game. It only came in patch 5.4, did the four Celestials. And here we are on the night before the first reset after 5.4 was released. Four of us, slowly, but without any difficulty, knocking down Chi-Ji, this world boss. Now, a lot of it, I think, has to do with the Blood DK. The self-healing is just so astronomically high that that when they get smacked, then they get it back up, and then you've got the Shadow Priest, which is chipping in every now and again. But this, to me, is absolutely bananas. Absolutely bananas. The only thing that we've got against us at the moment is time. We had 15 minutes from the start to try and knock Chi-Ji off. We're down to 11 minutes. So 4 minutes has gone and we've taken off 21% of the health. So it's not looking like we're going to be able to do this time-wise before the reset. But what it is looking like we'll be easily able to do is just slowly but surely kite Chi-Ji around the battlefield. Just make sure that you stand in the beacon of hope when it does the blazing song. And we are just chipping away. Now, to me, this is just bananas. And I just said it earlier, but this is absolutely ridiculous. If four people can knock off a brand new world boss, then surely to goodness, that is just drivel content. Since when did everything in WoW become that easy that we felt almost entitled to be getting our 553 loots? Remember, this boss drops gloves and legs, tier gear, 553. The latest. That's what you would get in 10-person and 25-person, actually, raiding before you go up to heroic level. So it's the level just below heroic. And you also get all the PvP pieces of gear from this boss as well that Nalak and Shara Fear would drop too. So it's just absolutely insane in my eyes that 4 people can trot along and want, you know, I can barely hold the gun, never mind play Hunter, you know. I don't know how to play Hunter particularly well. I just like push buttons. If it's there to be pushed, I'll push it. But it's almost verging on just the farcical. If we are to get our tier gear, our 553 tier gear, then surely to goodness there must be some element of work. There must be some element of worth attached to it that makes us feel, when we've accomplished that task, wow, I deserve to have my shot at that loot, you know. Or if you actually get the loot, I felt as if I deserved to be able to earn that piece of tier gear or PvP gear. But I just don't get it. And the most ironic thing about this fight is, you go around the Timeless Isle, there are some tough mobs out there, you know? You know, you've got your Warlocks and your Hunters and your Blood DKs that are very good solo artists. A bit like Prince. And and then you have, you know, other classes which struggle. And that's you know, that's absolutely law. That's absolutely spot on. What some classes can do, others can't. Now, I'm not advocating that all classes should do the same. Far from it. I actually really like diversity, and I really like the fact that some classes can do things that others can't. Otherwise, what we're left with, homogenization and boredom. That's what we're left with. But you've got these tough mobs all around the Timeless Isle, especially when you go over the Broken Bridge. When you've got those kiln dudes and you've got the ones that summon the golems and such, they're hard. And they're in a compact area. There's not a lot of room for manoeuvre. You get too far away, you'll start putting more stuff in and things just get more and more difficult and difficult. So when we see something like this, or when I see something like this, I can't speak for all of us, but when I see something like this, it makes me sigh. It just you know, makes me wonder why. A world boss, to me, should be a world boss. It should be worthy of the moniker of world boss. It should be something there that if you want to defeat it, you get together in a massive group. You get your 25 people. You get your 40 people together. But you need at least those 25 to get that boss down. But 4 on week 1? No. No, 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 no. And of course, we lost a couple of people there. We lost the Warlock and we lost the Shadow Priest. But that was more... And forgive me for saying this, guys. That was more out of lapse of concentration than anything to do with the mechanics. What they did is they just let themselves get hit by the little disciples of Chi-Ji, whatever they're called, who were coming out. Because if they hit you, they hurt you. Simple as that. And I just managed to stay away from them. So there's nothing here that would prevent us from killing Chi-Ji. There's nothing here whatsoever that would prevent the 4 of us from killing Chi-Ji. And we get another person in. It becomes 5 soon. But that's purely because of time. That's purely because we're up against the clock. And we're not going to do it. There's only 6 minutes now until the reset. So we get a 5th person in. But it does prove to be futile. We ran out of time. But if time is the only thing on a world boss to worry about, then, oh my lordy to goodness, there is something wrong. Something seriously wrong with them. Now, as I've already said, we ran out of time. And to be honest, we got, I think, into the last minute. And then the Alliance, there were some Alliance players hovering around. And they realised that we weren't going to do it. I think Chi-Ji was on 40-something% at the time, and so they wiped us out, which is fair dues. Look, there was a minute or so left until reset. Chi-Ji was on 40%. They'd been really cool, had the Alliance. The people who are out here, they had been really cool because they hadn't bothered us prior to that. They were actually going to see if we could do it, which I thought was really awesome of them. I don't know if they were looking, hopefully, to do a last-second gank to nick the kill or whatever. I don't know. But, you know, it's just cool that they left us alone to our own devices. So, yeah, 4 people easily can take care... I was going to say solo. 4 people can easily take care of Chi-Ji world boss in the first week of its release? I would genuinely love to hear your comments below. I've made this video as light-hearted as I can. I don't want to get too heavy about the situation, but I do just find it farcical. Absolutely farcical. But please, if you've liked the video, give it a big thumbs up the rectum. And comment, because I'd like to hear what your stance is, especially on things like world bosses, and world bosses that drop exceptional loot like these do, tier gear, top level PvP gear. If we're to gain access to these pieces, don't you feel, or do you feel, that we should be in a more cohesive group, a more communicative group, or is that just something which is now completely out of the game? When you've got things like Center of Eternal Agony, which actually promote internal faction griefing, has Blizzard decided that this game is no longer Horde versus Alliance, but this game is in fact player just versus player completely. But let me know what you think. So please do like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and also twitch.tv/heel versus babyface for live streaming, which I'm going to try and do tonight, GTA 5. But I'm having almighty issues with my goddamn PVR recorder. So I'm trying desperately to fix that. If I do, we're going to get some GTA 5 tonight live on stream. Otherwise, I'll have to think of something else to do. But you take care, everybody, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye-bye.